Hi again. I'm Avi certified raw food educator and holistic health coach, helping women all over get rid of their stress, gain their energy back, and drop those pounds through nutrition and lifestyle changes without sacrificing their food favorites and their authenticity. There's some noise in the background, so hopefully you can't hear it, but I'm doing the best I can. So this video, I think they heard me. This video is about what you can do to not feel stressed. And it's so important, especially now that people are experiencing high levels of stress. And stress has plagued me for so many years. I remember being in school and taking 11 classes and going to work, and I so want to, like now, I would so badly wish it was quiet. Give me 1 second, okay? Give me 1 second. Ugh. I'm back. I'm working on it. Looking for some quiet so I can record these freely. Okay. So I'm back. All right. So I'm no stranger to stress at all whatsoever. Actually, like I said, I remember being in college and I was taking 11 classes, going to work and trying to run an oil business. And I had recitals because I went for music education before I went to be a holistic health coach. And it was so stressful to have to prepare for performances. She said, sorry, my relatives are loud. I had to prepare for performances, stay on top of my homework, stay on top of that GPA, and go to work to make a living for myself. And it just took a toll for me. I remember sitting in, she's one of my favorite professors. She's a hippie, similar to me. Professor Marivelle, I love you. If you jump on this live for any reason, still love you. She was so cool. But I remember sitting in that chair and my stomach was just restless. Like it was just, I had like gas pains in my stomach and felt like I just wanted to run to the quickest bathroom. I remember being so stressed. And what I didn't know then that I knew now is that I could have said no to some things. You know, I could have said, no, I don't feel right. And this is why I always emphasize to my clients and to anyone that I speak to and come in contact with is that if something doesn't feel right, stop doing it immediately. So when I felt that at the time, I was very corporate. I said, I just got to push through it. I got to graduate. I have to make a living for myself. I have to be on this health insurance. And so I kept pushing past it. And my mental health declined, my physical health declined. I was so unhappy and so imbalanced and super stressed. So fast forward to whenever I feel like that, or whenever my clients feel like that, because most of them are moms and they're very busy and they have a lot on their plate, my first tip is to actually do nothing and to honor yourself. Yeah, absolutely. Is to honor your body. So if you keep pushing, like I was doing, you keep pushing, you're going to start overeating. You're going to start, it's going to contribute to inflammation in the gut, and it's going to start breaking your body down. Your body is sacred, your body is wise, and your organs are alive. They're alive. So if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and your body is telling you it doesn't want to go anymore, there's something, stress can be the friend if you let it, because it's letting you know that something needs to be addressed here and there needs to be some resolve. There needs to be some sort of solutions to getting rid of that stress. Okay, so my first tip is to do absolutely nothing. Feel free to comment below and leave questions if you want even more solutions, and stay till the end to get all 5 of them that you can implement right away. So, some of you are like, well, what if I can't do nothing? So, like I said, a lot of my clients are moms. Okay, so they have children. Some of them have husbands. Some of them have a lot on their plate. So they can't literally just sit there and do nothing and just let everybody go crazy. So, what I tell them is to at least take, 5 minutes, honor yourself, do a little bit of reflection and say, I can't push past. What can I do to bring peace in my life? So maybe you have a small child. Maybe you need to put that child and you on a specific schedule so you can have you time to yourself. Maybe if you do have a husband, you and him can delegate the responsibilities to alleviate that. Maybe there's something, yeah, it is. Rest is extremely important. Um, Maybe you need to schedule, like I said, schedule that time for yourself and figure out what you really love to do in your life. Maybe you work a full-time job and you don't really like that one. Maybe you can set aside, like I would say, take 15 minutes to 20 minutes just doing something towards another career or another purpose or another job. If you are incredibly stressed, what I like to do is do like a micro list, and instead of looking at everything I have to do, like maybe you have to pay, I call them statements. Most people say bills. Maybe you have to pay statements. Maybe you have to pay for a lot of things. You have to cook. You have to do all of these things. Don't look at it from the umbrella, like I was talking about yesterday, the umbrella mindset, like, oh, I have a lot to do. Instead, take that time to really do what I call like a micro list and check it off. I'm telling you, if you make a list and check off everything you have to do, maybe you have to change the baby's diaper, but you also have to, maybe you were cooking and now the baby threw up and all of this stuff. Take a moment and breathe. Do one thing at a time. Thank you. Let me just comment back real fast. Um, do one thing at a time. Because I used to do that too. And as a matter of fact, today I was reflecting. I was like, I have a lot to do today. So what did I do? I put it in perspective. I said, if I push past, I'm not going to feel good. I'm going to feel stressed. So I took everything and I placed it in a micro list so I could get things accomplished. And I find that when you just allow and surrender, you get things accomplished much faster and more efficiently versus if you're like, oh, I got all this stuff. And then you push past it and you're left with anxiety versus left with peace because you allowed your body to relax. Okay. So my next tip is to take a crystal bath. These I've incorporated over the last couple years, or maybe it's been a few years. And I've incorporated crystal baths where I've taken baths with, or taken showers rather, with, what is it? Rose quartz crystal. Also, what is my mochi? Mochi with crystal. I talk to my crystals. Great aventurine. So, taking a crystal bath, and for those of you who don't utilize crystals, crystals are energy, they're vibration. And we see them as solid, but they're actually not solid, which I think is absolutely amazing. They're just frequency and vibration, and they help with certain energy centers. So whenever I feel out of alignment in a certain energy center, and I also work with my clients on that. I do crystal healing and things like that with them, and they really love it. Like they love crystals now. They have to have crystals. I think they buy more crystals than I do now. It really aligns your body and it relaxes you. It allows you to break through. Have you ever you ever feel well, I know you might feel stressed and anxious. Where do you feel that anxiety? Where do you feel that stress? Really take a moment and be like, where am I feeling it? And then maybe you go to a crystal shop and you're like, oh, I really want ocean jasper. Get the ocean jasper and just take it with you and take a bath with it and see how you feel. See how you feel. Some people say Epsom salt baths. I recommend crystal baths in your gut. So in your gut has various chakras, your solar plexus, your sacral chakras. Those are your creative chakras, your root chakras, your grounding chakra, your self esteem. That's where your self esteem, your confidence, everything is. And a lot of times that's the first thing where you feel stress and anxiety because you're imbalanced. You're not rooted, you're not grounded. So you're going to need crystals that help with that. So utilizing that, just taking a moment, say, I'm going to take a bath or a shower for like 30 minutes and I'm going to use those crystals. Okay, so my next one is drinking tea. Drinking tea in a smoothie. I cannot tell you when I first started switching over to, plant-based, and thank you, plant-based. Yo, hey Steve. Steve's high vibrational. I love when he jumps on my videos of him and my mom. So when I first started to being vegan and plant-based, I started drinking smoothies. And I felt like, for those of you who don't know me, I used to do, drugs and toxic substances and things like that. And I used to really chase after that, that high. When I switched over to eating plant-based and nutrient-dense foods and things like that, I realized I didn't need that anymore. What my body really needed was balance. And the smoothie had fruits, veggies, nuts, seeds, everything that my body needed to stay in alignment. And so what I noticed was I became balanced. I felt more euphoric. I didn't feel stressed. Now when I drink a smoothie, I feel exuberant. I don't feel like imbalanced. When I used to drink coffee, I used to feel like that. I used to feel jittery and imbalanced and very anxious. And that's what I want people to know, is that certain things you're eating are contributing to your anxiety. Some people are like, I just had my fourth cup of coffee and they're all like jittery and all this. I'm like, maybe the coffee is not right for your body. Your body should never be jittery. It should never be anxious. It should never be stressed. There's something that's going on that's causing that. So that's another tip. And to drink tea. There's calming teas. I actually collect teas. For those of you who don't know, I collect teas like I collect journals. I just love tea. Licorice tea is excellent for calming and reducing stress. And like I said, Dr. Furman actually has a mushroom chai powder if you want to blend that up with your tea, or his Calm Biotect and Mood Biotect. Oh yes, certain chocolate will make you feel jittery. Especially sometimes people we'll see on the label. This is why I say to read the back of the label. It will say, dark chocolate, but on the back it'll have like cane sugar or some sort of sugar in there that'll make you jittery. I know for me, chocolate and coconut sugar is a no-go. Is a no-go. Like that gives me anxiety. Sometimes people just think, oh, I'm just anxious. And like, the creator just chose me to be anxious. No, sometimes it's the food that you're putting in your system, like, certain chocolates. If you're going to eat chocolate, make sure it's 100% dark chocolate. I usually love cacao, and they have chocolate teas, which is amazing. Cacao, there's carob, there's all of that stuff that really brings the body into alignment. It's not a stimulant. It just calms you, it balances you. So we don't want to look for something that's going to like really heightened and then you crash. We want something that's going to keep you in balance at all times. So the next thing would be exercise, which would be my fourth tip. Exercise, 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 because you're allowing the toxic waste to get out. You're allowing your lymphatic system to cleanse itself. Oh yeah, cocoa powder too. You're allowing the body to cleanse itself, and you're releasing the endorphins. You're sweating out all of that toxic waste, because toxic waste can throw you off and create stress as well. If you are at home and you have children and you're like, I can't exercise, because I do hear some people, I don't have time to exercise. When I have my nieces and nephews, I do something with them. When I used to have them a lot of the time, we used to do planks, burpees and things like that. They did it with me. they did it with me. Or, give them an activity to do and really get down to their level and say, this is what I'm doing right now. And tell them, but after we finish exercising, we're going to do this. But first, I have to do this. If you interrupt me, we're not going to be able to do your activity. Make it fun for them. They will listen. Trust, I've worked with all children, every single kind of child, problematic children, children who were not problematic. They just want love. They do like discipline and they like fun. Simple. They're amazing. I love children. I could be around children and babies all day. I have extreme patience with children, extreme patience. So, my last tip and one of my favorites is to watch something funny. Watch something funny. Never underestimate the power of laughing. I laughed so hard yesterday at one of my favorite SNL skits, which was with Jimmy Fallon again and Justin Timberlake doing the Bee Gees. I cracked up. It's in my Insta story if it's not gone. If you want to, no, I don't think it's gone. If you want to go and watch it, it was amazing. It just got me, it just refocused. Everything, you don't have to always focus on, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. Take a break. It's okay. All right. So, those are my tips. Laughter is excellent. Those are my tips. Comment below if you want even more tips and you want actionable tips. If you're like, you know what, I want to take my health seriously and I want to start implementing this right away, let me know how I can be of assistance to you and comment down below with that. I'll be reading the comments after this is posted and replying to every single person because that's what I'm here to do. And I hope all of you have a stress-free day and an unfiltered day. I also gave some stress-free tips on my podcast, which is Avi Unfiltered. It's on all platforms if you want to go and listen to that too. Free content, resources, there's journals, there's everything on there. So have a great day and I will talk to you tomorrow.